Hi there. I'm Charlie Gilbert, and I'm the Executive Director of MusiCoLab, a nonprofit organization that supports musical theater creators here in Philadelphia. On Monday, June 26th, MusiCoLab will present a showcase featuring work by 7 writing teams from Philly. Over the past few days, I've spoken on Zoom with each of our writing teams about their shows, and in this video, I'll share one of those conversations with you. If you love musical theater, you'll want to join us at the Proscenium Theater at the Drake in Center City, Philadelphia on Monday, June 26th at 7 p.m. to check out the amazing work being created by these writers. I also encourage you to support MusiCoLab by clicking on the link in the comments and donating to our GoFundMe campaign. Thanks for your support. All right, here's the video. So, hey, friends, this should be fun. I'm talking to Giacomo Fizzano today, and Giacomo is the author of a musical with a really long title that starts out with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is one of the 7 musicals that's in the MusiCoLab showcase on June 26th. Well, first of all, what is the whole title? I kind of fudged on it there.
That's okay. The whole title is Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be in my Broadway musical, The Musical.
There we go. There we go. And what's it about? Can you briefly explain it for a newcomer?
I sure can try. Leonardo DiCaprio is a musical that takes place at the opening night of a fictional musical called Family Business, which is a love letter and total send-up of Golden Age Broadway. It's Guys and Dolls meets Cole Porter meets early Candor and Ebb. And it is a fictional show written by 2 best friends who have set out to write a musical with the goal of winning Leonardo DiCaprio his first Tony, and also with the slight hopes of one of them that she will get to kiss Mr. DiCaprio at the end of their production. She has written a big love duet with a kiss at the end of the show. So that the offstage conflicts bleed into the high drama of the onstage antics. Not just our 2 writers, but our whole acting troupe and our stage manager and our director and our music director. So lots of love triangles, some legal threats from Mr. DiCaprio's team, lots of silly offstage play that goes wrong style antics.
Yeah, you mentioned play that goes wrong. I was thinking about Noises Off too. I love some meta theater here where you've got onstage and offstage kind of bleeding into each other. So are you a fan of those golden age writers?
I am. And the more I set out to write this show, the less I was interested in doing sort of a spoof show. And the more I was interested in writing Family Business, this fictional musical, as a true golden age, just written in the parlance of 2023, with a little bit of the language of maybe the 1950s thrown in for fun, because that just feels stylistically appropriate.
Well, that's great. I know you are, and because people looking at this can see you're a young writer, and often young writers are interested in tossing those old dudes into the dustbin. But it seems like you found some inspiration there.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are the people who made musical theater what it is.
Yes. So, what excites you about this project? What got you going and keeps you going with this project?
Yeah, people who've worked on my stuff know that I often say that the first idea I have for anything is, well, wouldn't it be funny if this? And then I turn that kernel into a whole thing. But with this project, what's especially exciting is I got to write about the making of theater. And for me, it was a project that I took on while I was editing and proofreading a different show that I was getting bored with the rewrites. And I got to sort of go back and reflect on the process of writing a show and then having no idea what to do with it at the end. How do I get people to put on my work now that I've finished writing? And how do I make my friends do my work for free? And all of that love and all of that care went into the writing of this. And so it feels really like a celebration of the making of musical theater, and also a celebration of people who just are doing their best and have no idea what they're doing,
Yeah.
which is often what making new musicals is, and it's full of love and passion and messiness.
How great that you're doing this in in this particular setting where we're bringing together a lot of people who are writing musicals and trying to make musicals here in Philly. I think your answer says a lot about why you're drawn to the musical theater too. You know, the passion, the humor,
Yeah,
the emotions, and the messiness of it all, and also the camaraderie. Would that be right
yeah.
to say? I mean, you really seem to have a kind of core group of people that you've created relationships with, that you've worked with during the time that you've been here in Philadelphia, right?
For sure.
That's great. So how has Philly been for you as a musical theater creator?
Yeah, I mean, I love Philadelphia. It is close to, I mean, I grew up in the area, and then I came here for university where I had a great theater history professor.
This
That's
guy
right.
here, yes,
That's
okay.
right. And then I've stuck around because I just love the city, and I love the people. I love the theater scene and the culture. And I completely understand that new musicals require a lot of theaters, and they're a difficult thing to produce. And so the scene here has been, frankly, a little dry, but I'm really happy that MusiCoLab is making a resurgence to offer that platform, that base for musical writers. It's
Well,
awesome. Really happy
I
with that.
agree. It may be a little dry, although you had a great opportunity this
I
spring
did.
to have another work of yours produced. Your musical Norton the First was produced in the Polyphone Festival
That
at
is true.
yours. What was that experience like?
That experience was awesome. It was a total delight, and last year they didn't have the full resources to do their normal 4 shows. So those of you familiar with the Polyphone Festival may know that they usually do 4 shows a year, and they're not full productions, but they are staged with costume elements and lighting and tech and off books. So they're pretty close to full productions. But last year they didn't have the resources for that coming right out of the pandemic. So they did 2 full productions and 2 29-hour readings. So I had the really lucky break where I got to do a 29-hour reading one year and then a quasi production the next, which was totally the best way for me to learn about my work, to get to see it in a 29-hour reading session and then get a year off and have time to do rewrites. And then this spring, I got to be working with actors on their feet and seeing how things worked, and then, asking them if it worked for them, and them saying no. And then I got to rewrite on the fly. It was a crazy useful experience, and I feel really fortunate to have had it.
Well, that's great. That's great. And I know that the Polyphone Festival has been happening for a while, and so U
Yes,
Arts is making its contribution to
absolutely.
musical theater here in the city, and there are a lot of organizations that seem like they're poised to play more of a role in developing new musicals here. So that's, yeah, fingers crossed. That's what our
Yeah.
goal is with this MusiCoLab as an organization.
Yes.
And with this showcase here, what we're doing, we're showcasing your new work and the work of 6 other writing teams that all have very different styles and different
Yeah.
points of view, and
Exciting.
represent also different generations. It won't surprise you to hear that you're the youngest in the crowd,
No.
but
No.
we have people from lots of different chapters in their career, and that's very exciting. So, what do you hope that audiences will take away when they see your work in this concert on June 26th?
Oh man. I hope they like it. um, I think this show, what I find so interesting about it is in many ways, I have the copy right here, my like Jack Viertel musical, like my
Yeah.
very, very straightforward. But I hope they can also appreciate the ways in which it is not, and the ways in which it is exploring its own things, its own ideas. And also just I'm just looking forward to the night. I'm looking forward to a night of seeing 7 new works and getting to know some new writers. And I hope audiences will appreciate that as well, and getting to just bask in the new work, baby.
Yeah, yeah. How great is that, really?
Yeah.
Well, Giacomo, thanks. It's been fun to talk to you today, and hopefully people will come and see Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be in my musical, The Musical. Was I
Close
close?
enough.
Okay. On June 26th. Thanks, man.
Thank you.